Do you speak more than one language? If the answer is yes, you are part of a growing group of people who enjoy the benefits of being bilingual or multilingual. Besides facilitating travel and the enjoyment of movies without subtitles, bilingualism has fascinating impacts on the brain, affecting the way we think and function. But what does it mean to be bilingual? Linguistic ability is assessed in 4 areas: speaking, writing, listening, and reading. A balanced bilingual demonstrates similar proficiency in both languages, but the reality is that most bilinguals use their languages to different degrees, depending on the context and how they acquired them. For example, imagine Anna, a 2-year-old child who moves from Brazil to the USA. She learns English and Portuguese simultaneously, developing a single set of concepts for both languages. This type of bilingualism is called compound. Anna's teenage brother, John, on the other hand, may be considered a coordinated bilingual. He learns English at school while continuing to speak Portuguese at home and with friends, developing 2 separate sets of concepts for each language. Anna and John's parents, in turn, can be considered subordinate bilinguals, learning English as a second language and filtering it through their native language, Portuguese. Bilingualism is a complex and fascinating phenomenon, with different types and impacts on the brain. If you're bilingual, know that your linguistic ability is a valuable advantage that shapes how you interact with the world. All types of bilinguals can achieve proficiency in a language, regardless of accent or pronunciation, making the difference imperceptible to a casual observer. However, recent advances in brain imaging technology have revealed to neurolinguists how language learning affects the bilingual brain. We know that the left hemisphere of the brain is more dominant in logical and analytical processes, while the right hemisphere is more active in emotional and social processes, although this is a matter of degree, not an absolute division. The fact that language involves both types of functions, while lateralization develops gradually with age, has led to the hypothesis of the critical period. This theory suggests that children learn languages easily because the plasticity of their developing brains allows them to use both hemispheres in language acquisition, whereas for most adults, language is localized in one hemisphere, usually the left. If this theory is correct, learning a language in childhood may offer a broader understanding of its social and emotional contexts. On the other hand, recent research has shown that people who learn a second language in adulthood demonstrate less emotional bias and a more rational approach when facing problems in the second language than in their native language. Regardless of when you acquire additional languages, being multilingual offers your brain some remarkable advantages. Some are visible, such as a higher density of gray matter, which contains most of the brain's neurons and synapses, and more activity in certain regions when speaking in a second language. The intense training that the bilingual brain undergoes throughout life may delay the onset of diseases such as dementia and Alzheimer's by up to 5 years. The idea of cognitive benefits associated with bilingualism may seem intuitive now, but it would have surprised experts in the past. Before the 1960s, bilingualism was considered a disadvantage that delayed child development, forcing the child to expend energy differentiating between 2 languages, a view based on flawed studies. While a more recent study has shown that reaction times and errors increase for some bilingual students in cross-language tests, it has also shown that the effort and attention required to switch between languages generated more activity and potentially strengthened the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that plays a crucial role in executive function, problem-solving, task switching, and concentration, filtering out irrelevant information. Therefore, while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, it makes your brain healthier, more complex, and more active. And even if you weren't fortunate enough to learn a second language as a child, it's never too late to do yourself a favor and change your vocabulary from hello to hola, bonjour, or ni hao. When it comes to our brains, a little practice can take us far.